Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm coming to you today with a challenge to try to come up with the tankiest list you can. In the past, I've come up with really tanky lists using the interdictor, and I have used things like Wolf Yularen to make the interdictor really, really tanky, and I decided to go a different way, and I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. I'll put a link to this in the description below. I also have a request of you guys too, by the way. After you're done with this video, I have a special link I'm hoping you would click on for me, and if you don't, that's okay too, but basically it revolves around a game called Legendary, and it's called Legendary DXP, and I need basically I'm going to show you here. It's basically it's a card game, and they're basically putting uh, making an app for this card game, and it's like kind of like in an alpha or beta test right now. And I have a link, and I've only gotten 4 people to click on it. But basically, if I get a couple more people to click on it, it'll bump me up and ahead in the line, and I'll be able to actually play it. And since I really like the other Legendary games, like they have a Legendary version of Firefly, they have Marvel Legendary, they have Alien and Predator Legendary, and they're like cooperative deck building games. And so this one is more in the fantasy, magic and monsters and stuff genre, and so I'm really anxious to check it out, and I can do some videos on it too as well, depending on if they have an NDA or not. So I'll put a link for that if you wouldn't mind clicking that for me. But anyway, let's get back to the list building. Now I want to show you what I was coming up with, because I had decided I was going to make a really tanky list using MC80s. I would also give it a little bit of teeth. So I was going to use 2 MC80 assault cruisers, and well, let me do this differently. Nebulon B, and this is the only part, this is the weakness here, and this is what I want to see if you guys can improve on. The idea is I would fly these very much like this. I would have him in between the MC80s to kind of protect him. So, and fly them kind of close together, pointed right at the enemy. Because if, like, hopefully the MC80s would be able to protect, they'd obstruct shots to the Nebulon, and if somebody decided they wanted to go right down the middle, I'd fly him a little bit farther back so that they'd have to take both broadsides of the MC80s to get to the Nebulon. And so that's part of that. So because I'm taking advantage of their double defensive retrofits, I'll give them each here reinforced blast doors, and I'm going to give this one actually the most unused title ever. I'll give him Redemption. Now, for the support team, I'll give everybody actually projection experts, even the Nebulon. So, and I'm going to also use Leia as my commander. So I will have Leia out there, and I'll make this one home 1 as well. Although I don't know if it needs home 1. Let's see. So, all right, I'm going to put ECM also on the MC80s. And so the whole idea here is, all right, I mean, I've already got 4, 4, and 4 shields, 3 in the back, but I don't know if they'll be able to get to the back. But so I'm going to have, redirects going to be very strong. XI7s would kind of hurt, would be difficult to go against, but not impossible. I'm going to guarantee I can use my brace. Intel officer would be a challenge to go up against with this one. And but let's see, this is only 380 points, so I definitely have some more room. For my flagship, I could put Lando on there in case I do get that really good roll. Here we could put Major Derlin. Or we could even give Torin Farr to somebody too. That's not bad. All right. Oh, there was another option I was looking at too, wasn't I? Oh, let's drop some things. I have a better idea. Okay. I want to put leading shots on each of the MC80s. So here's the plan. Oh, this is good. So I won't have any squadrons in this build. Let's zoom out a little more. I won't have any squadrons, but I have got 2 blue anti-squadron dice all around. And so what I've got here is that I roll 2 blue dice. If I still don't have any squadron hits on one of those, then they spend one and reroll the other. So it gives me a pretty good chance to get at least one hit on every squadron I attack. I could drop Major Durlin off of one of these and give the Nebulon Torrent Far. That's not a terrible idea. Yeah, because I got Lando over here. Maybe they'll go for the other MC-80 first. But I mean, so right now, if I do an engineering command, it gives me 4, 5, 6 for Leia, 7 for projection experts. So every time I do an engineering command, I'm getting 7. Here on the Nebulon, I'll have 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have 6. So that's not bad at all. And so I can spend 2. So the Nebulon can hand out 2 shields each turn and then completely regenerate them. The MC-80s can easily do that. And so even if I get hit for an 8 damage attack, I brace. I take 4, lose all my shields, boom, boom, they're back. Within the next 2 activations, no problem. Or if I just activate, that's 7 shields. So I regenerate 3. And then transfer 1 from the inside, and then send it back to the outside. So it'll be really hard to kill this list. And if they do concentrate fire and have like 2 Imperial Star Destroyers, bombard, well then I do have the reinforced blast doors for that. And also if I get that perfect hit, like maybe from a Demolisher at range 1, I expend Lando, and I say, okay, reroll everything. So that's no problem. That's, and I mean, granted, it's still a little problem, but that's some of my insurance. So this is 399 points, extremely tanky list. The only obviously there's a little bit of a lack of firepower here. But for a list like this would be for something just to test out for fun. But I could probably still win because all I'd have to do is kill 1 ship, and so it might not be that hard to kill at least just 1 ship. You'd almost have to, I imagine some people would probably try to approach from the front, but if they came too close in the front, they're going to get the interior broadsides of potentially both MC-80s, and then the front shot of the Nebulon. So I do have a good amount of red dice just about anywhere. So that's cool. And I imagine there's probably some changes I could make to this list. I could drop the blast doors if I felt really comfortable about it and go with just getting the shields. The regenerating shields return, redundant shields. That's a possibility. Advanced projectors is always good, but not always good, but it's a solid card. It's just XI7s came out at the same time and just totally shut it down. So that's a gamble. It depends on what people are doing in your meta. I don't think I would run it. But all right, guys, let me know what you think. I'm anxious to hear some other defensive lists and what's the tankiest list that we can get. I don't know. I think this might be it, but I haven't really put all the options out there. And maybe once they announce Wave 7, there'll be some even newer, tankier options. But I think the MC-80 is the king here. I mean, it might be with ISDs and Mahdi. So I don't know. I'm going to put a link to Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder just for those who tend to always ask what Fleet Builder am I using. And I'm going to put a link in the description below for the legendary game. If you would mind, please clicking my link. I would very much appreciate it. But that's all I got, guys. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the little bell for alerts and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your best defensive build. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, have a wonderful day.